What's up, everybody? It's hashtag follow the conversation episode 30. My name is Michael Nipp, and I'm here with my co-host, Drewby.
Go away. I'm going to take a nap right here.
You can't take a nap, we're on the air. I didn't tell you we're going live, but we are.
Oh!
Should have done a countdown.
Go away.
You can lift your head.
Oh.
This was Daylight Savings Week, the wrong one. The one where we lose sleep.
The worst time of the year.
Except that this weather is pretty killer.
Yeah.
It was like 70 degrees outside today.
And when I was more awake, I was enjoying it.
You having a rough week, Drewby?
Oh,
Tired?
dude. I'm tired.
You need regimented naps?
No naps here. No naps here. I was in with a client today, and so I was sitting in this chair waiting on him to get some information or whatever, and like I leaned over and I actually started to like doze off. Just like, ooh.
To be fair, that's not that uncommon. You've fallen asleep at work relative numerous times.
It's happened. It's happened once where I was sitting in a chair and this girl took a picture of me and then sent it to her husband, and then they got passed around the office.
That's true. I think we talked about that on the show. You fell asleep at work long enough for someone to take a picture of you in view of people.
Oh, yeah, that happened. What the heck?
A drink of champions.
What the Is that a full, or is that just what's left in your house?
No, it's almost gone.
Okay. Have you ever tried to chug a gallon of milk?
No, that's impossible unless you train yourself for it.
Have you tried to chug a half gallon of milk?
8 pounds or something. No, it's like 8 pounds of milk.
How much water would you have to chug before you like puke that up?
I mean, I think it's a weight thing. Like your stomach can't hold the weight of that much liquid.
I wonder how much weight my stomach was holding when I ate all that shrimp.
Shrimp doesn't weigh that much, especially when you chew it up. I mean, I guess that doesn't make the difference in weight. It's the same amount of mass.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But it does take up less space when you chew it up.
It does take up less space, yes.
Welcome to the Sleepycast, here on theculturebypeople.com.
Technically, that's not even true. Because it takes up the same amount of mass as if it were chewed up. In fact, it's probably better.
We just had the chat ask us what action flick is going to kill it in the box office. What action flicks are coming out this year?
You've got, what is that one called? With Liam Neeson and Ed Harris. Is it Run?
Taken 4.
No. I'm going to look that up. It's,
We have Avengers 2. Is that an action flick?
Yeah, I'd call that an action flick. Would you call Captain America 2 an action flick? Because that totally was.
Yes.
What's the name of that movie? It's just coming out. Run All Night. It's the name of the movie.
Run All Night?
That one looks kind of interesting. You've got.
I've never heard of it.
San Andreas. That's with the Rock.
Is it a GTA movie?
No. No, though it looks like it's like the Earth got attacked or something. And here's the IMDb summary. In the aftermath of a massive earthquake in California, a rescue chopper pilot makes a dangerous journey across the state in order to rescue his estranged daughter.
So Taken?
What's his? Was it Colton Haynes? Is that his name? Is in it? Roy Harper from The Arrow.
Yep.
Yep, he's in that film. So. Yeah. What other action movies are coming out? You've got Ant-Man's coming out.
Oh, Furious 7. That will be my favorite action movie.
You're calling it right now?
Furious 7 will probably be my favorite action movie this year.
Okay. Ant-Man's coming out later.
The chat described that as The Rock takes on a bunch of rocks. The Rock movie.
Okay.
Come on, Drewby. Keep with it.
Remember the New Zealand poster from Flight of the Conchords?
I do. It said New Zealand rocks, and it was rocks from New Zealand.
It was a picture of rocks.
What'd you think? You saw Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, I saw the first episode last night. Did you hear me singing it after I walked out of your house last night?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I was wailing it to the moon.
Mac
Wait,
from the chat agrees that Furious 7 will take it.
Okay.
Best action movie. Because the trailer for Furious 7 is a plane flying around with them parachuting cars out of the back of a plane to go land somewhere. Now, the confusing part is, I'm pretty sure this movie is supposed to... I assumed it was going to take place in Japan, but I guess it's not taking place in Japan because they're parachuting cars into the desert. Unless that's just the beginning of the movie. Which that does seem like something that would happen at the beginning of a Fast and Furious movie.
That'll happen. Did they do anything that crazy in was it six? What's six called? The Fast and the Furious?
If 6 is the one... Is 6... No, 6?
Yes.
Is the Fast and Furious 6. What kind of idiot are you, Drewby? It just has a normal name. No, the 6 I think might have been the one with the plane scene.
It's also in a trailer for 7 that a guy drives a Lamborghini through a skyscraper.
Does that happen? One of the movies there was a plane, and there was a ridiculous plane scene with all the cars.
Are you thinking of the trailer?
No. It was one of the other movies. They're driving onto a plane. That's moving. On a runway that happens to be like 20 miles long because there's a giant like 20-minute action scene that takes place before the plane takes off while it's running on the runway.
No, dude. They just cut out the part where it turns around and then goes back and then turns around and then it goes back. Like literally.
It doesn't turn.
Yeah, they cut that out.
What's that at the end of Metal Gear Solid? Aren't they like fist fighting on a mech that's like falling from a building or something?
I don't. What?
Dude, I don't know. I've never played Metal Gear Solid. Dude, it's a tired podcast today. We're just gonna skip straight into our normal topics. Drewby, how many shows did you watch this week, and how many of them were stupid?
I didn't watch a lot of. Oh, I did watch. I finished Prison Break season 1. I think I finished that last week. So there you go.
I've never seen Prison Break. What is it?
It's a show about a guy who's in prison wrongfully, like actually wrongfully, and his brother gets convicted of a crime to go in to prison and then break him out of prison.
What was he wrongfully committed of murder?
Yes, of the vice president's brother. The vice president's brother.
Who did he actually kill?
Nobody.
Well, this is a sucky thing already.
No, like what happened? Like this. This is in the first season. Like basically, what happens is he walks up to the guy, getting ready to pull the trigger because like he was in deep with some dudes, and the dudes are like, "All right, if you want to clear your name, if you want to like wipe this debt or whatever, this is all you got to do." And so the guy walks in there with the gun with the intent to kill, but the guy was already dead.
So he still should be charged with attempted assassination of the vice president's brother.
Probably, yes. But he...
What do you mean probably? He attempted to assassinate the vice president's brother.
Okay. Fine. Yes, he did try to, but he didn't actually do it. So, what's the difference in
So he should have gone to prison
murder? What's the difference between attempted murder and murder, like in penalty?
I bet years. A significant number of years.
So then the guy goes and breaks him out, and then it's like, yeah. So the first season is them all breaking out. The second season is them on the second, third, and fourth season, I believe, are them on the run. But like, there's this whole like government conspiracy like backplot where this organization called the Company is behind like the running of the American government.
Like real life.
No, that's the
Illuminati.
Lolly.
Like
no, that's the Lolly.
Jay-Z and Is that from like 30 Rock or something?
No, that's Metal Gear.
Oh.
Metal Gear.
Metal
No,
Gear's
the Patriots.
so stupid.
The Patriots.
What is Metal Gear?
The Patriots. No, that's not the Patriots. The Patriots are the ones who are behind the running.
What is that word that you keep saying? Lolly Lily Low?
La Le Lu Le Lo. Yes.
That sounds like the stupidest word I've ever heard.
It is. I don't even remember what they are in Metal Gear 2. Like, they're a name and they're like an organization, I think. But are they the Patriots too? Like, is that just a synonym for the Patriots? I don't know. Anyway, so the company in Prison Break is comparable to the Patriots in Metal Gear.
Why do we keep talking about Metal Gear when neither of us has really ever played Metal Gear?
Because I've been watching a series on Giant Bomb called Metal Gear Scanlan, where Drew Scanlan goes through and is playing the Metal Gear games. He's played one
the
or
Phantom
two.
Pain?
Am I going to?
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe we'll see.
I think the Phantom Pain is a tight name, referring to his arm that got blown off. Phantom pain being the real phenomenon that happens sometimes when someone loses a limb. They feel like they have pain in the limb that they've lost.
But his arm didn't get blown off.
Yes, it did.
When?
At the end of Ground Zeroes. In the plane.
Are you sure?
Yes, you watch it happen.
I've played that multiple times.
You get blown up. You're in the plane. You get blown up. There's a bunch of hospital scenes where you're laying in bed, and eventually you look over and realize you have a robot arm.
What the heck are you talking about? Metal Gear.
Oh my goodness. Why are we looking up crap on this podcast? Did you watch Arrow and Flash last week?
No, because they're not running right now.
Really?
No.
Did you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes, I did watch that last week. Yeah,
How's that?
It's the return of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is Coop still on it?
Who?
Agent Cooper? Kyle MacLachlan?
Oh. Yes, he actually, he had a smaller part in that episode, but yeah, he's still in that. He is still running. Do you know who he plays in the show?
No.
Okay. All right.
Were you going to answer that question, or are you just going to ask me?
I was just going to ask. I mean, unless you want me to tell you what character he is in the show.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you watch any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all?
I watched 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe 3.
Do you remember the annoying hacker girl from the first season called Skye?
Yes.
Okay. She became awesome in season 2, but Kyle MacLachlan plays her father, also known as Dr. Jekyll, or Mr. Hyde, or one of the two. One of those ones.
Technically both, right?
Technically. And he is an Inhuman with anger issues and like strength issues. Not strength.
Strength issues? Like he gets weaker?
No, like he's very strong and he has anger issues.
So if described as a budget version of the Hulk because they can't actually use the Hulk in the TV show.
But he's not the Hulk. I think he kind of, in the comics though, he is similar to the Hulk though. At least in look, kind of, that he gets big. But no, he plays her, and his whole thing in the show is, I want to be reunited with my daughter who was taken from me at a really young age. And so he's trying to get back with his Skye and get her back, but he's basically murdered people, and he's worked with Hydra to try and get back, even though he hates the guy who was running Hydra. He said no. But yeah, so that's who he plays. The show, this was the first episode since the mid-season finale, and it was all right. It was kind of nice to watch it again. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, kind of see where it continues to go. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the first half of the season was pretty darn good, I thought. It was better than Arrow.
To interject, the chat says that all hackers on TV are annoying and really dumb. I would say that pretty much any depiction of technology that's on TV is pretty stupid.
Michael.
That's why I get angry at a lot of shows, like famously NCIS, because I hate anything that has to do with technology or video games.
Zoom and enhance.
Yeah, the zoom and enhance. Yeah. I actually don't watch TV because I hate everything. I'm just a curmudgeon.
You watch TV. You don't watch current. You don't watch current shows. You would watch Flash if you had actually started it and not been a tard and just be like, yeah, it's stupid.
You have okay. Hold on. I will defend myself on this one point. If you watch the first 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., would you tell me that is a show that anyone should ever continue watching?
Based on those 2 episodes, no.
Which are the only 2 episodes I saw. I saw 1 episode after Captain America, and it was also very stupid.
Wait. Oh, I'm not talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm talking about the Flash. You should have You should have watched the Flash.
I could have watched the Flash, but I just missed the window. I will watch the Flash, and I will also watch Arrow. I just have to wait until they're available because I don't want to buy them, especially if they're as crappy as everyone says.
If Arrow is as crappy as people say, the Flash is not. The Flash is good. The chat will back me up on this.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I intend on watching Arrow and I intend on watching Flash. I just didn't get caught up. I'm watching Goldbergs. That's a current comedy.
Yeah, I watched an episode of that recently.
I usually catch up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's also a
I
current.
am behind on that show. I need to get caught up.
I'm behind on it right now, but I usually catch up on. I usually watch them all at once. Yeah, mostly I'm watching 30 Rock and Flight of the Conchords.
Chat talks about looking forward to Daredevil on Netflix. I think I think that show actually has nudity in it, so that's not something that I will be watching. Unfortunately.
Same here. If it's just a violent superhero show, I will check it out. But if it ends up having sexual content that I tend to avoid, I probably won't end up seeing it.
Which kind of sucks. I mean, Daredevil is kind of a cool concept as a superhero.
Have you read the Daredevil comics that were running last year, like the ones my brother had?
I read some of them. Yeah, I did. I wasn't a big fan of the art, I don't think, but the story.
No, but I like the story and the writing. No, the art was weird. Dude, that's the thing about comics. It's so weird. They change artists, and it's such a tone shift, and it's really jarring when you're reading a large section. Like when I read all of the Captain Americas that I read last year, you go through so many different artists, and some of them are really good, and some of them are terrible, and it's so jarring, even if the same writer is writing everything. Comics are weird.
Did you, speaking of comics, the Court of the Owls is making an appearance in a DC animated film.
What's it called? Is it just about the Court of the Owls, or are they just showing up?
No, it's the sequel to Son of Batman.
Okay. I think I actually know people that like that one. I've never seen it.
I bought it for my brother for Christmas. I've never seen it. I should borrow it and watch it, but so the Batman movie that I watched was The Dark Knight Returns, which is different. It's a different version of Batman than I'm used to. But
the Batman movie that I watched was The Dark Knight Rises. It was pretty good.
Last year?
It was as good as The Dark Knight. No, I'm just talking in general.
Oh, okay.
I pretty much don't watch any cartoons right now. It is extremely hard to get my wife to watch a cartoon, so that doesn't ever happen.
She'll watch Frozen.
The last cartoon that doesn't count as a cartoon because it's girly.
Okay, so she'll watch Strawberry Shortcake.
She's probably seen Strawberry Shortcake a lot. My wife is listening to a podcast and it's really weird. It's super loud. What was I saying?
The fact that you can
the last
hear
cartoon that I watched was Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long time ago when my wife was out of town.
That's something that she wouldn't watch. Well, that was not the only reason that you watched it. The reason that you really plowed through was that you were sick and didn't move off the couch.
Well, I was sick, but also I was trying to prove to myself that anime was stupid. And then I sat there and watched it in less than a week. All of it.
I fell in love with it. Anime.
Yeah.
You fell in love with anime.
Watch anything else?
Let's see, what else? I watched Expendables 3. Did we talk about that on the show last week?
I don't think so. Maybe? When did you watch it?
It would have been last Sunday.
Sunday. You would have talked. You would have talked about it. I think I was just blowing you off, but yeah, you were trying to talk about it. We were focusing on like you hating Arrow last week, and I was just agreeing with you because every single thing you were saying about it was bad about Arrow. I had predicted from a single picture that was tweeted. Like every single thing that happened that's terrible in that show, I predicted.
I still need to go back and watch the first season and see like if Laurel is any better than. Like, I don't remember. I did not hate her this much.
That's because she wasn't as big of a deal. She wasn't that big of a focus, or like she was just kind of the side like trophy that Oliver wanted but couldn't have. So it didn't seem as like ridiculous as when she's supposed to be a crime fighter going around kicking dudes.
Yeah. It totally happened.
You saw the Superwoman thing? Did we talk about that too?
No, we didn't talk about that last. Well, they posted a picture of what kind of she looks like, or is going to look like, and was that a train?
Yes, it was a train.
Odd-sounding train.
That's what trains all sound like.
They posted a picture. I saw someone tweet, and it's kind of a decent point. They retweeted the picture, tweeted the picture, and basically said, "Why is DC afraid of using color?" Like, the costumes that DC is using in their TV shows and Supergirl is kind of all like dark and like toneless, and like
she's wearing a blue and red suit for those that haven't seen the picture.
Kind of, but like. Go back and watch.
I mean, dark and gritty is the thing they're trying to do. So all of the tonal things are going to be black and gray.
But like that's all right. Take a lesson from Marvel. They can do a dark and tony. Maybe that's probably appropriate for Batman versus Superman. But you do not have to do that for like your Justice League movie.
Like, but look at Arrow. It's the same way. Even the trailers for Flash make it seem gray.
But look at look at some of the Marvel stuff, like Captain America, which was kind of a darker story. It still had color. Like it still looked nice.
It has a different budget too, and they're aiming for different people. Let's be honest. The types of people that see movies are not always the same types of people that watch a TV show every week.
Who sees? What people are they aiming? What are the different crowds, Michael? Like, all right, so they got different budgets. Okay, I can kind of see that. Marvel's incredibly like rich. But what about like DC? Like, what kind of people are they trying to hit with their market that they would do something like that?
The types of people that want to see a dark, gritty superhero reboot, where I think Marvel tries to aim at the whole, like a big, like Marvel's trying to hit every single person. DC knows it can't hit every single person and is trying to aim at the people that like dark, gritty reboots. And considering that you watch every single one of their shows, it's working. Sorry, you don't watch Constantine.
I watched the first episode and had like one of the most nerded out moments of watching something on TV I had while I was watching the first episode.
You described that. Whatever. You described that. Also, there was another show. Whatever. Did you watch the Superman one? The high school soap opera, whatever that one was?
Smallville. No, but I kind of want to. Go back. Here's the thing. Like that show is probably going to be more CW than like it's probably going to be CW on par with like Vampire Diaries or something like that. Like it's going to be like so drama, like emotional, like bull that I may not be able to stand it. There are some cool things I think that they do in that show that I'd like to see. Like there's an episode where Clark Kent meets the Flash, Barry Allen. There's an episode with Hawkman or Hawkgirl. Like there's Green Arrow is in that show. Like they bring in all these different things in that series that I think would be kind of cool. But I think that the CW-ness of the show would probably just overwhelm me. Because
you say CW-ness, but you're describing you only have seen 2 CW shows. Are you just talking about low-budget, crappy acting soap opera drama?
Part of the reason I think that... Alright, I won't watch Smallville now. It got spoiled.
Just because you know the chat spoiled for Drewby that Lex Luthor died. Because
Shut
the
up!
actor
You're
quit.
going to ruin the show for everybody.
How is it ruining the show?
I'm just
How long does... Okay, chat.
Smallville
How
ran for,
long
like,
did the show run after he died?
like 9.
Answer that question. Did it run for seasons after he died? Like, is that an end of the series spoiler? The way you're talking, it looks like it happened at least a good bit before the show was over.
10 seasons. 2001
That's
to
a
2000.
long time!
That is a huge show. Maybe Flash will run for that long.
Lana Lang was knocked out in every episode. I think Arrow would be better if that happened to,
Laurel? Maybe. So yeah, Smallville I kind of would like to check. I think they do. I think that seems kind of cool. We'll see. Let's see. Any other shows? That's kind of really it. Oh, I watched The Three Amigos last week.
Is it a movie?
Yes. Yeah. Have you not? Are you not familiar with The Three Amigos?
He dies in the 3rd season, Drew. That's not a spoiler at all.
Wow, that was wow. That you can't kill off Lex Luthor. Whatever.
He did in the 3rd season, so deal with it.
Three Amigos. Have you not seen that?
Chevy Chase, Steve Martin. I can't tell the third person list.
Martin Short.
No, I have not. Is it funny?
I kind of went into it like thinking it was supposed to be like hysterical and like one of those movies that you can quote all the time. I didn't come out of it thinking that. Like I was like, okay, like maybe if I was in a different mood or I was more tired or less tired or something else, if I was drunk, maybe I would have enjoyed this film more. But yeah, I was alright. It wasn't as funny as I was hoping. I nothing else is coming to mind of what else I watched. So, did you watch anything? Probably not. You watched Flight of the Conchords?
I watched 30 Rock and a bunch of Flight of the Conchords.
I did start watching 30 Rock a little bit, like kind of slowly going through. One of the funniest things in that show, I think so far, is in the second episode, they like have a boat party, and so like they're all on this boat,
yeah,
and she's like, "Thanks for setting up this party, Tracy," or whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, whatevs," and then like she finds out like that it's not his boat, and then like he like basically stole it or something.
Correction from the chat: he died in season 7.
So that is a spoiler.
Sure.
Turn back to me. Don't turn around to see if I'm crying. I'm not crying. No.
So, you play any video games?
I don't know if we talked about this on the show last week, but I played some Jazz Punk. The game's weird.
We did talk about that. Have you played more of it?
No, I haven't yet. I really need to. I played some Destiny. That continues. Been playing Crossy Road. You shared with me the secret to Crossy Road, and it's helped improve my game.
If you play Crossy Road, play with your phone, not in portrait, but in landscape, and you will do significantly better every time.
It helps.
Unless you're Drewby and you die in the first time.
That
first jump.
did happen. I did have a Crossy Road where I died in the very first go. Like it was like hop forward, like smack into a truck. So
We're playing Clash of Clans.
yes.
What's our clan name? Tell people to join it.
Oh. Let me pull it up. I don't
Look it up. In the meantime, I've actually been playing a video game that's current. For the first time this year, we can talk about a game that is actually from the week that we're recording this podcast.
Released today.
Yes.
The day Tuesday, the day we recorded.
I'm the motherfucking rhinoceros. My beats are fat and the birds are on my back and I'm horny. I'm horny. If you choose to proceed.
What?
That was a song the chat requested. It was Flight of the Conchords.
Okay.
So, Hotline Miami 2 came out today.
Thundas.
The game is
That's the name of the clan.
Thundas. Thunda apostrophe S.
Yes, that is it.
Oh my goodness, I get an email because I didn't silence my phone for the podcast. Hotline Miami 2. It's a sequel to the Hotline Miami, and that game is already extremely dark, and I don't know what's going on, but I know it's jacked up, and man, is it violent.
So
which is kind of exactly what I expected from Hotline Miami 2.
you know,
It's already telling a story in a better way. Like the first one, the story was so abstract. Sometimes I think it was not as good. This is a little better at telling the story. At the same time, I don't know what's going on at all. But man, is it dark, and man, is it Hotline Miami. It's so brutal, and like the graphics, while being pixel art, are so explicit in their violence that it's more affecting than playing like a Mortal Kombat game, which looks more realistic. It's just so dark, and like the characters in a Hotline Miami story are so messed up that like I don't know. It's hard. It's good though. I'm liking it so far. I think I played like 3 or 4 levels. In this game, you do a lot more character switching. You play different characters as it's telling different parts of the story. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on, so I don't know if I like the story yet. But man, is it really, really Hotline Miami. If you played the first one and you liked the first one, this seems like something that you probably like. Something worth noting is like the way that the first game worked, there was a lot of very small levels that seemed more focused on figuring out the puzzly elements. Hotline Miami 2, I think, automatically from the beginning assumes that you know how to play it because it starts off right away with rooms that are less puzzly and straight up you just need to be good at Hotline Miami. Like it's harder already. Where the first game you could kind of take each room and each section as a little puzzle to try to figure out. Here, sometimes I've gotten situations where you just have to get up in a straight up firefight and you better be good at playing Hotline Miami or you're not going to make it through the level. Like multiple times already. And I've heard this is a much longer game, which means it's going to get a lot harder. So there's that.
It looks like the same. Like it looks like Hotline Miami 1. Like it doesn't look that graphically. It just looks the same.
Yeah, they do a little bit more.
Yeah, I can tell. There's a little. They added like with the blood effects and stuff like that. They added some more.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more blood. There is a lot more style in like the menus and like the way that it's telling the story. It's like you're watching everything on a VCR. It's weird. The presentation is super weird. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like it so far. I'll keep you updated. That was one of the games that we've been talking about on the show for a long time for me looking forward to. So I'm excited to...
It's been coming. It's been coming for a while. Like the first game came out in 2011, 2012.
Yes. Yeah, a long time ago.
Danny Dwyer gave it a 9.
Yep, the new one.
He
He also reviewed the original, but I don't remember what he gave that. But yeah, it's super fun so far. The end of this week, there's another game that I kind of want coming out called Codename Steam. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not. No, I don't know.
It's like made by the team that makes Fire Emblem, but instead of being top-down overhead like grid view, it's like still turn-based tactics, but you're playing in like a third-person shooter perspective. So instead of like having full view of the battlefield, you're playing behind them, your character in third person. So like you have to kind of use your turns to explore, and then when you find each other, use your teams to try. Like it seems like it'll be a little weird to get used to, but it also seems like super tactical in like a cool way. But it's given this weird aesthetic of like historical figures trying to fight aliens or something. Like one of the characters is Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
And like he's one of the guys that can go around and shoot these guys. So I don't know. It looks potentially really cool. Oh. And Thursday. Guess what comes out Thursday?
What comes out on Thursday?
Drewby, what's your favorite Giant Bomb video of all time?
No! Oh, wait. I like the Mario Party. Are they releasing a Mario Party game on Thursday?
Mario Party 10 comes out Thursday.
Oh. I thought they were like, yeah, we're going to do Mario Party 4. I was like,
Screw
what?
Drewby. The real Mario Party 10 is coming out this Thursday.
I don't want to play Mario
Maybe we'll
Party
do something.
10. I want to watch Giant Bomb play more Mario Party.
I don't know how much longer our sister site Jeff Gershman
know.
could take Mario Party.
That is an actual like between him and Brad. Like how much like can they continue to do 50 turns? Like
The only reason Drew lasted as long as he did on the last video was because he got to switch out with Jason.
Yeah. Maybe they just bring in like they bring in subs or whatever from GameSpot or something. I'd watch Danny
But we're in March
play
now.
Mario Party.
Video games are coming out now in March. In a couple weeks, we'll be talking about the greatest game this year, Bloodborne.
Okay. No, not the greatest game this year.
You were on a podcast that talked about Monster Hunter being better than Batman, and we've talked about Monster Hunter sucking.
Batman will be the best game to come out this year.
We will see.
Better than Bloodborne.
You know that game could come out and be terrible. So could Bloodborne.
So
but
could
Batman
Bloodborne.
also could.
Yes, but so far Rocksteady has done pretty well, in my opinion, on the last two, at least the games that I've liked.
Should we take a guess? Will Bloodborne or Batman score a higher Metacritic?
Oh, that is a great question. Oh, well, what did Dark Souls?
Right now, I'm pretty sure Batman has a better Metacritic average. You look up Batman, I'll look up Dark Souls.
All right, let's see here.
Dark Souls Metacritic, the original one, is 89.
Okay.
What's Batman?
Arkham City. We'll just do it for the 360. 94.
Dark Souls 2 has a 91.
Arkham Asylum. It's a 91 for the PC and PS3 and a 92 for the 360. So
That was Arkham City?
that was Arkham Asylum. Arkham City is a 96 for the PS3 and 91 for the PC and 94 for
Okay,
the
so
PC.
Asylum has the highest, and then Dark Souls 2 and City are tied. I'm sure Origins did worse.
What did Dark Souls 2 get?
91.
Okay. I wonder what.
Which I think is odd, considering Dark Souls 2 is not nearly as good of a game as Dark Souls 1.
Batman Arkham Origins 76, 74.
Yeah, so that's crap, whatever. Alright, so, which do you
Based
think
on-
will be better?
Better. All right. I think the chances of Bloodborne being better. This is me honestly speaking. The chances of Bloodborne being better than Batman as a game are pretty decent. Like I have more faith in Bloodborne doing good than in Batman doing good.
I just think Batman is going to sell a bazillion copies no matter how good it is, and
Yes, and it's also
More
a more
people review
popular
it.
AAA franchise. Like it's a more popular AAA game coming from a pretty popular AAA series.
well, it's third party, so I guess by default it will sell more. It's on more platforms.
Yes, that is
So
true.
it is only it's only on current gen though, right?
Yes, PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Yeah. So Batman will sell better. Bloodborne, depending on who reviews it, will probably do better critically.
Do you think Bloodborne will do better metacritically than?
I don't know. It depends. Like we're in a point where the Dark Souls, you either like Dark Souls or you don't like Dark Souls. You have to be willing to. Like people compare. Okay, here's one of my personal pet peeves. We're gonna go into this little rabbit hole real quick. People like to compare Monster Hunter to Dark Souls. They like to say, they both are games that are really hard to understand, and you have to give them time to be good. To which I would answer, yes, that part is true. When asked, a Monster Hunter fan said, you got to give it like 15 hours before you understand why it's good. You don't have to do that with Dark Souls. I think you got to give Dark Souls a 2 or 3 hour window. And if you don't understand or like kind of what's going on in Dark Souls in 2 or 3 hours, you probably won't like Dark Souls the whole time. But if you I think if you have to do 15 hours to decide whether you like a game or not, that's a really long time.
That's a Japanese
so
game.
long.
That's a
Yeah,
Japanese
you know what? You know what? I guess that's what we'll say. Yeah, that's Japanese. I guess Dark Souls is Japanese too, but
It's different
I don't
Japanese.
know.
It's like American Japanese.
Dark Souls is not American either, but it definitely is not a stereotypical Japanese game.
Mm-mm. I mean,
And it's
all right. Let's take.
in fact, it's in some ways it's the opposite of Japanese. Like one of the most annoying things about Japanese games, both of these I guess, is that they tend to be a little handholdy. Neither of these games are that, which I guess is why sometimes people really get into them because they're not handholdy at all. Dark Souls especially.
What do you? How long do you think someone would have to play Persona 4 before they decided they liked that game or not? Would that be pretty quickly?
Persona
Because
4?
that's kind of another
That's pretty
Japanese
quick.
weird Japanese game.
Persona 4 is pretty quick though. Like if you don't like what's going on within definitely like an hour or two of Persona, like that's the kind of thing you're going to be doing. Well, actually, the intro to Persona is super long, so maybe like 2 hours for sure. But like once you've done the first dungeon in Persona, you kind of know what to expect.
Okay.
Unlike Final Fantasy, which has a literal 15 hours worth of like tutorial.
Final
Like, you do
Fantasy
not unlock-
13?
Yes, yes, I should have specified. Final Fantasy 13, which I played, it was like the 12 to 15 hour mark before I learned the final thing that made combat like fully functional or like fully featured enough to actually have any depth to it at all.
Okay.
Like seriously, like 12 or 13 hours before you got depth in your combat. Think about that. You have to play a game 12 hours before your tutorial ends. Until that happens, the combat is literally pressing A over and over and over and over and over. That's it.
Did you persevere and get through the tutorial? You did, didn't you?
Basically, I got past the part where it gave me all the moves, and I said, I don't have time for this crap, and stopped playing it.
That is the worst time to stop in that game. Like there's, I
Or
don't
the
know
best
that there's
time.
a worse place. No,
I could. That game is like 60 hours long. I say any time that you stop before the 60-hour mark, on the lower side of that number is a safe place to stop, because if you don't want to put 60 hours into a game, you shouldn't put 60 hours into a game.
Okay. Well,
you should be a big fan of that. You're the one that never likes to put time to games you don't like immediately.
There are a few games that I've put like sunk a ton of hours into. The ones
that you didn't like.
No, I mean, if I don't like a game, let me think. I can't think of a game that I didn't like, and I kind of. I usually don't put.
Here's a game I don't like that I beat.
Okay.
Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 2 is a terrible game that I beat.
Oh, are we talking bad games that we've beaten, or just games we don't like?
We're talking about games we didn't like that we played significant amounts of time on.
I know. I'm better than that.
I'm willing to bet that your patience tolerance is like super low.
See, even if I don't like a game, like I might play a game for like to play with friends or stuff like that. Like I've done that before. Like games that I wouldn't.
But I'm
play
talking
on my own.
by yourself, games that you persevered through just to try.
No, I haven't really done that.
You've never tried to expand your horizons through game.
I'm trying mobile. Not mobile. I played like a ton of Tiny Death Star. That game's kind of garbage.
But you liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be honest. You pretty much like anything that has a Star Wars face slapped on it.
Dude, so I watched Attack of the Clones this last over the weekend. I want to go back and play a Star Wars game called Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Maybe pick up a Wii and like get the game and then play through it again. Like that game is probably garbage and does not hold up at all, but that game was like one of the best Star Wars games I played as a kid. Like that game was so good. Why can't they make Star Wars like that game? Why can't they make games like that anymore? Like that game was like the Watch Dogs before Watch Dogs. No, that's not true. It had some aspects from Watch Dogs that were in that game. Like in that game, you fly around as Jango Fett. You're like, oh, look, you can just scan random NPCs around the world, and like someone might be there's a bounty on this dude. Let me go capture him and then turn him in, and I get the credits for it. One of the best games, Star Wars games.
All right, are you gonna keep the clarifier there or not? Are you gonna keep Star Wars games there? Or are you gonna take away Star Wars games? Because you better keep the Star Wars games title there.
Why?
I'm pretty sure in a list of I could think of a list of 20 best games, and it would never even touch that list.
Probably not. It's awesome in my mind. It's awesome. What's that? Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, Attack of the Clones was kind of garbage. Like, the movie was not good. There are puns in that movie, Michael. There are puns.
Are they bad?
Do you remember the scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan and Padme getting attacked in the arena?
Yes.
Do you remember that they were all chained or whatever to their stone pillars or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. There's a part where Padme starts to be smart. She starts trying to pick her lock. She picks the lock. Then she starts off from one of her hands. Then she starts using it to start pulling herself up to the top of the pillar. And Obi-Wan is like, okay, Anakin, you're going to take that one. I'm going to take that one or whatever. And then he's like, well, what about Padme? And you see Obi-Wan turns to him and says to him, it's like, she seems to be on top of things. And the camera goes and she's like climbing onto the top of the pillar. Like, it's just not good puns. No,
So I've been on a tabletop board game kick. Not just like RPGs, like regular tabletop board games. Like,
okay.
We've been playing this new game called Splendor.
Yes, I've played that game.
Splendor. Like Splenda, the sweetener, but OR instead of A.
Okay.
So that game has been fun. I heard about that on the Fellowship Gamer podcast. If you guys are like playing board games that I don't know about, you should tell me about them because I'm really liking board games right now, especially ones that are two-player that I can play with my wife, but also games we could bring together and play as groups. Splendor is fun because it's quick and easy to learn, but also complicated enough that I can play it over and over and not hate it. And basically it's like a resource management where you're getting these resources and you can buy resources that can build to your stockpile, and it's try to find the most efficient way to get to 15 like victory points while managing the resources in ways that allow you to get there the fastest. And I'm actually, the people that I'm playing, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm liking it. You played it the other day. What were your thoughts?
Yeah. I liked the game. I started to. Like, I was like, oh, we start playing, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there is a lot to keep track of whatever I'm playing. And then as we continued to play and played more games and more games, it slowly just turned into frustration and hate for that game because I am terrible at it, and I could not do well enough to like win like the one match where I was like, oh, I think I might actually win this one, and then like someone else comes up from behind and is like, oh yeah, I won. It's like, son of a gun. Yeah. The concept is really simple, and it's actually, I think it's a fun game. My problem is just I am not good at it. Like I played. Granted, that was the first time I'd ever played it, so I played like 4 games that day, 4 or 5 games. But I could not do it. I'm not sure. Like maybe my problem is that I try to take on too much and try to gather too many resources in 2 different branches. But like there's so much strategy. Like, okay, do I take a card and get a gold chip, or do I actually like plan ahead or do I try to grab some chips from the board with the hopes that like I'll then slowly start stacking up my savings. Like it's just.
Yeah,
And
in the
then,
game you basically use temporary resources to buy permanent resources, and the permanent resources sometimes have victory points on them, and you try to build up enough to win the game. But the strategy comes with balancing the amount of temporary resources you choose to collect, which take up a turn, with the resources that you purchase for permanent resources, and trying to get that balance right is the hard part. While at the same time competing with everyone else for the same temporary and permanent resources.
It sucks. But it
fun.
was really fun, and it's really simple. Like, even if you like, you could like take that to someone who's like, oh yeah, this is how you play the game, and then like people start playing it. Like, it's pretty straightforward.
That comes with a high recommendation from me, Splendor.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I think we're actually wrapping it up. We're running out of content. We have to close the entire site.
One might argue that we were running low on content once we started the show.
When you started the show with your face laying on the table?
Oh, my day's not over yet. Like I've still got to eat and stuff to do, and the remaining part of my evening will be spent like passed out on the couch or like just something on TV. So
you should watch some Flight of the Conchords.
That show is so weird.
Yeah, that's
how it's described.
How can people find you, Drewby?
They can't. Find me at twitter.com/Drewby132.
That's someone else.
If they want to follow me on Google+, they cannot find me on the Twitter profile of twitter.com/Drewby132. There is not a link there that will take you to the Google+ site. If you want to find me on Facebook, you will not be able to find me on facebook.com/Drewby132. That doesn't exist either. And also the email address, drewby132@gmail.com, does not exist at all. So don't even try.
Twitter.com/MichaelNipp, MichaelNipp, or Facebook.com/TheRealMichaelNipp. You can email us at theculturemypeople@gmail.com. You can follow us. No, you can't follow us on Facebook. That's not a thing. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/cultureofmypeep. You can subscribe to the podcast, the audio version, on iTunes. Leave us a review there. It would make me extremely happy.
An honest review.
It really helps us out.
If you like the show.
Honest review.
If you think
so give us 5 stars. And if you don't like it,
then
you can turn it off and go away and never watch it again. That's fine.
It's called the freedom of the
internet. Right. It's a free country. Yeah, it's a free country.
We're not forcing you to do anything, but if you want to continue to watch and support, by all means.
I have a Patreon campaign where you can no, I really don't. But if you want to start one for me and give me money, that's fine.
Are you not so proud that you're going to start one for yourself?
No. There's a podcast we do during the week. It's called I Can't Know Music, I'll Know Music. There should be another episode actually coming out this week.
Over during the weekend.
Sure. I guess it comes out Saturday night usually, so that's typically the next week for most people.
You're going to cover the what is it? I'm drawing a blank. What's the name of the album, Michael?
Cake's Fashion Nugget.
Okay.
I had no idea where you're going with this. Oh, this is a tentative plan. We may be doing some type of Marvel marathon building up to the Avengers movie and record little mini thoughts about our rewatches of those movies. So be looking forward to that. We'll probably be doing that with Mac, who was in the chat today.
Or don't look forward to it if it doesn't happen.
You can look forward to it even if it doesn't happen. And if you're disappointed, email us. If you're going to leave us a negative iTunes review, you can go home and not.
Okay.
Literally the only iTunes review we have says it's the best podcast they've ever heard. I have yet to get anyone to confess to reviewing it that way, but that's what happened.
Oh, I gotta look at that.
So anyway, maybe we'll be more awake next week.
Maybe
we'll skateboard some this week.
Maybe there'll be another daylight savings time, and we won't be able to.
Maybe we'll actually take a nap before the show. But
That-
for hashtag follow the conversation episode 30, this has been me, Michael Nip, and my co-host.
Drewby.